to the session about the entrepreneurship-minded pathways in education. First of all, thank you very much for choosing this session this morning, this early hour after this fantastic dinner yesterday. And of course, as the final day of this annual summit that we are having here. So it's very good to see so many people around. Thank you. First of all, let me introduce you the presenters and my co-chair for this session. So my co-chair is going to be Twumwaa Acheampong. And myself, I am Balázs Révész. She's from Munich, I'm from Szeged, so we are co-chairing this session with you. And we are going to have three wonderful presenters today. In order of appearance, Mette Gilles Gonçalves, and Bich-Liên Doan. Something similar, sorry for the pronunciations. They will tell their own names, I suppose. The structure of the session will be as follows. So we are going to listen to the three presentations first, and then we are going to have a common discussion together with all of the audience. So please, all of you who are listening to the presentations, look for your questions, because you will have time to ask the questions at the end of the presentations. Without further ado, let us start the session, and let me pass the mic to Amma, my colleague.
Hello, everyone. Okay, the microphone, but I think I'm audible enough. It's really a pleasure to be here this morning, and after the dancing yesterday and all that, I still have, memories of yesterday, but I'm happy to be here. And I will start off by introducing our first presenter, Professor Mette. I give a brief description of what she does, and we would already kick off the session. So, Professor Mette is an associate professor at UiT, the Arctic University of Norway, specializing in sustainable innovation and management. Holding a PhD in innovation studies, she brings knowledge to the field of firm internal drivers for eco-process innovation. Currently serving as the head of department at the School of Business and Economics, Dr. Mette plays a pivotal role in shaping academic programs and fostering excellence in research and education within the department. As an academic leader within UGLO Work Package 4, Dr. Mette contributes to collaborative efforts aimed at advancing innovation, global health, research, and education. Additionally, Dr. Mette is a research partner in the interdisciplinary research initiative, INCLUDE, where Dr. Mette actively engages in research on the implementation of climate budgets in municipalities. Dr. Mette's research interests lie at the intersection of innovation, technology, and organizational leadership. Her research endeavors are driven by a commitment to advancing knowledge and addressing pressing societal challenges. In addition, she is dedicated to excellence in teaching and mentorship. She has taught courses in innovation and design thinking and qualitative research method, fostering a dynamic learning environment that promotes critical thinking and academic growth among students. Without further ado, I invite Dr. Mette to the stage. Thank you.
Well, it's a time since I need to use microphone. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, okay.
You can take it off, you can hold it front.
Best practice for entrepreneurship-minded study path. And as was introduced when I did my PhD 10 years ago, or started my PhD 10 years ago, is what I saw for companies to go through with, you might say, eco-innovations. It was one thing, the technology, they had access to the technology, but what lacked was the mindset and the willingness to take the chance on new technology and change management. And that's also what eager my interest into entrepreneurship studies, how to change the mindset and willingness to go on with innovations and change. First, I come from UIT. I'll guess that many of you already know us by name, but just very briefly for some of you, we are the northernmost university, world's northernmost university. We have a lot of campuses, but the four main campuses are Narvik, Harstad, Tromsø is where we have the main campus, and Alta and all the other small places. We provide study programs that are both campus-based, session-based, like more intensive programs, and on full online distant learning programs. And our three strategic areas that we work within is the Arctic and High North, major societal challenges, and talent development. And what we see to meet these major societal challenges, we really need entrepreneurial mindset among our researchers and students. These are our faculties, and we are about 16,000 students and produce 120 PhDs a year. As a part of our strategy, like I say, we want to produce attractive programs adapted to trade and industry and civil society in the High North. And what I wanted to emphasize is that we want to involve the students in our programs, and we also want the students to acquire knowledge, competence, and skill for the future needs. So that's about innovation and entrepreneurial mindsets. Also, where I work at the business school, and I would say from all over our teachers and professors at UIT, when we consider innovation and entrepreneurship studies, it's not about talking about entrepreneurship. That will contribute little to changing mindsets. It's about doing it. And that requires action-based learning and entrepreneurship projects. And we also know that this should start as early as possible. Even from kindergarten, you should start to develop this way of thinking and experimenting. But we get in touch with the students at bachelor's level. So actually, best practices are three practices I wanted to present, because I think you can or not develop this mindset by doing a micro credit course at PhD level for a weekend. You need to develop over years. And these are therefore two examples from bachelor level. These are two courses that give 7.5 and 10 ECTS. And also we have this support program that's called UIT Talent that I want to also present very briefly. In the innovation in practice, we connect students with practice immediately. And we give them real innovation problems, actually, that the student develop into projects. So we have the students, we give them some introduction to innovation theory and some design thinking methods, and then we link them to business. We have managers coming in, presenting their problem, and students work in groups and learning by doing. And at the end of the semester, we have, normally a semester would be 3 courses, 10 ECTS. They do a presentation and an innovation report. But what the students learn during this, I know this is not very innovative, and I'm sure a lot of you have these type of courses, but how many of you have them at bachelor levels, a full course? I'm curious to see how often you do this. Because normally in the discussion at Work Package 4, where I am a member, we talk about micro-credentials at PhD level and master's, but at bachelor level. Please raise a hand. A half a hand? So, and also we have and this we do in the business school, but we also have to say we do this, we have a course called GeoPractice. So we do this with geology students, where they are to write a CV and they go to a museum and they sort of help setting up an exhibition and based on different problems, because we all have trouble, or at least in Norway, getting particularly younger youngsters to come to the university. So then often the problem is how to get in touch with the younger citizens. We do this in nursing school, and we do have fishery candidates that also have like innovation camps, and also for the community planning programs. We also have innovation camps like this, to kind of include these in the programs. I discussed with our professors, what do you think? Is it a good idea to do this in bachelor level, or should it be in master level? And of course, what they say, it would be, for us, it would be more interesting to do this in master levels. Firstly, the classes are smaller, and the students are more mature, and you can combine students from different disciplines, and you can do really interesting projects. But at the same time, we know at bachelor level, we have this course, we have 100 students. So it's a big administration, but then you have a much broader outreach. A lot of students are then kind of more familiar with design thinking methods and innovation thinking. And also then they can build this competence over years. So when you then reach master and PhD level, you have this way of thinking has matured in a very good way. And we realized that the students are really up for the challenge. They really love it. So these are examples of problems from this course. It was hotel services, how they should develop during COVID. Teal, it's our local football club. How to attract more people to the matches. It was a project. Marealis, they are based on marine products, but from powder to product. Often you have this very protein or healthy powder, they're based on marine products. COSAT, they are downloading information from satellites. And also this is the municipality. So these are examples of projects over the years that was presented to the students, and they really worked on it. So they go out, real business problems. They need to go out and understand customer needs, and they need to communicate with managers, and that's quite stressful for them. But then they see that they need to, again, also communicate with customers to understand really what is their needs. And we see also that young people today, particularly after COVID, are very nervous to communicate with strangers face to face. They prefer putting up a survey, they prefer sitting home, and are really, I would say, afraid. But then going through this, we see them grow and gain self-esteem. This is another course. It's more an entrepreneurship course, and this is more based on the student's ID. It's still on bachelor level, so it can be quite simple, the ID they come up with, but still this is more to take an idea, prototyping, considering the market, and setting up a business plan for this. And they're also introduced to the phenomenon of property rights. Often this is not very necessary at this level for this type of ideas, but it's just to get a feeling of it. And also financing schemes and understanding the challenge of scaling at this early level. It's very simple, but still, it's another perspective of building a company. So then it's not so much of understanding a problem, but it's to gain confidence in your own idea. And then we have UIT talent as a part of our strategy. Of course, we are into research, education, communication, dissemination, and innovation. And then we have these tools, and particularly innovation grant for master and PhD students, and startup grants, and also this innovation position I would like to emphasize. And the startup grant is that we provide 10 grants. We had a similar program earlier. It was kind of put down for some years, and now this is starting again this year. But the students will get 30,000 Norwegian crowns. It would be around 3,000 euro. And if they have a good idea, it's quite low-key, easy accessible. It doesn't have to be a very scientific idea. Bachelor students can go there with this idea. But also to give them some confidence and support. We have had very good experience with that previously. Then we have the innovation grant for master and PhD students, which is a bit higher level. That would give them a salary for up to 16 months to work on their ID. This is more after master and PhD, and then a full-time position for 2 years after PhD. But we really think that these, including the bachelor programs, kind of builds up entrepreneurial competence. So it's not one best practice, that's what sort of my message. It's this ecosystem of different perspective or entrance into building this mindset. So I think we need all three of them, actually. And it's a win-win-win situation for both the students that get learning, communication skills, self-confidence, I would say is the most important thing in this field, and also work experience and employability. It's important for business to get in contact with academia and they get new ideas. And it's important for us because we also are very much inspired and motivated to work through the students and communicate with companies in this way. And also in this way help our mission to contribute to this socially beneficial knowledge development and innovation. So what I wanted to discuss with you, but we'll take that afterwards, was more about at what level of education is it best to introduce the students to this type of programs. And also the problem of scaling, but I think this is the one that I would very much like to discuss with you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mette, for the presentation. Please hold your thoughts for the discussion. Okay, so you will have time to ask your questions. But now let me introduce you Gilles, who is going to be our next presenter. He's an assistant professor at the Faculty of Engineering of the University of Porto in the Department of Informatics Engineering. Joel has been developing his scientific and teaching career in software and systems engineering, control architectures, software modeling, and design for complex systems, with many research interests in digitization, digital transformation in Industry 4.0, among others. Believe me, it was a long list. He coordinates and participates in several international innovation and technology-related scientific cooperations. Among other responsibilities, he is the chair of the respective Scientific and Industrial Committee of the Manufacturing Doctoral School of the European Institute of Innovation and Technology. Please come and hold your presentation.
So good morning, everyone. Happy to be here, and thank you very much for joining after yesterday's dinner. I know this is a rough start this morning. So I was going to start with a disclosure, but it's already been disclosed. So as you see, I'm not coming from business and management. I don't teach entrepreneurship and innovation. However, I feel that this is something really important for our students. And I've been working on this for the past, I don't know, 20, I don't want to say how long because it's been a long time. And it all started with an emeritus professor of the University of Porto. He was the person behind our first courses in informatics engineering, and he had this vision that our students, our future engineers, they should break the cycle of looking into the screen and looking into their belly button and looking into the screen and looking into their belly button. They need to open up their eyes to the world, to be able to understand the real problems and to be able to contribute to this. So we started a journey to try to understand how to bring this culture into our students. And although I'm not coming from management and economics, I read a few things. And I have this from Michael Porter that says that culture eats strategy for breakfast. So one of the things that we try to do is to create this culture inside the department and then trying to push it towards the faculty and towards the university. My vision is that we have to teach our students from the beginning, from the first year, but sometimes teaching them is not just having courses, it's really creating this culture. Having professors, having researchers, having people around them with this culture of innovation and entrepreneurship. So what I will be talking about is this journey through deep tech and entrepreneurship. And I will be focusing a little bit more on master and PhD, because deep tech, and I will give you my vision of what deep tech is something that needs maturity and needs knowledge, that it's not yet there at the bachelor level. But this journey started with a vision. And although I've been working on this for many years now, this vision is a little bit more recent, and it's related with an initiative promoted by the European Union. And the vision is that by 2030, we would like to have this critical mass of highly educated young innovators and entrepreneurs that are there in our regional innovation ecosystems, these ecosystems which are built around universities and with the universities, and that will favor the creation of new business, but also the inshore of new companies in knowledge-intensive domains related with deep tech. And deep tech, in my understanding, is a technology that relies on meaningful scientific innovation. So it's not something that you pick up from the shelf. It really requires research. It requires a lot of innovation. And it involves a lot of research and development risks. This vision, as I said, came up with an opportunity. So in 2020, the EIT, so the European Innovation Institute of Technology, created this EIT-A initiative, so the Higher Education Initiative, with the purpose to help universities boost innovation and entrepreneurship capacity. This has been a pilot phase that started in 2021. It has been ongoing. It will end in next month, in July. And during this pilot phase, they supported several projects, involved over 700 organizations in these projects, academic and non-academic organizations, and trained over 40,000 students and academic staff in this innovation and entrepreneurship. The pilot phase was assessed, was evaluated, it was considered a success, and now they are pushing for the real EIT-A initiative that will be launched in the fall this year with some new calls and some new opportunities to boost this innovation and entrepreneurship capacity in higher education. And this is where our journey started. So our journey in deep tech innovation and entrepreneurship started in 2021, so right at the start of the EITA initiative. We had a first activity approved called Invent AGI, so Innovation and Entrepreneurship in Higher Education Institutions. And then this was a 2-year program, and then we got a second one that started last year in May, and that will be ending next month in July. That it's called Deep Invent AGI, so it's deep tech focused innovation and entrepreneurship. Of course, sorry. This is a journey that we, as University of Porto, we are not doing this journey alone. We have several partners with us. And as you can see, we have 18 partners together in this journey. As full partners, we have 9 universities, starting in the Southwest Europe, so Portugal, Spain, and coming back to the north. So we have then the Technical University of Tallinn in Estonia. We also have Sheffield University in the UK, Pardubice University in Czechia, Targovic University in Romania. We also have a partner coming from Ukraine and another one from Poland. So those are the main university partners. But then we are also reaching out across the Atlantic. We have several Brazilian universities also involved in the activities. And this journey started with a vision, as you saw. And to make this vision a reality, we started by developing an innovation vision action plan. So something where we set up a set of activities, a set of KPIs, and based on that, we implemented an approach which is quite common in the startup world, which is the lean startup. So we looked at the innovation vision action plan, we designed a few experiments, we put these experiments in place in the different partners, we looked at the results, we learned from the results, and we evolved our innovation vision action plan. And currently what we are doing is sharing this knowledge, not only amongst the partners, but also towards other universities. And we are doing this across 3 areas, so three pillars. Learning and mentoring, so activities which are more focusing on equipping our students and our staff with this capability. Research-based learning, where we put students, academic and researchers together with industry, working on real research problems to develop additional skills. And then a third pillar, which is more related with collaboration and entrepreneurships, where we try to place our students working in industry, but also bring industrial people to work in our projects at university. And I will give you a couple of examples of the activities from these 3 pillars. So the first one, which is was initially implemented by our partner in Czechia from the University of Pardubice. It's a course for undergrad students where they learn the basics of starting up a business. So start up your business, they are exposed to different concepts and learn about how to set up a company. In the research-based learning, and this is something that is coming from our partner in the University of Santiago, they developed this concept of the Senior Innovation Lab. So it's an activity where they put together students from different areas in the university, also including students from the senior university, and they work on challenges related with aging. During this process, they are also challenged to understand how these ideas can become a product and can be brought into the market. The third one is coming from the University of Porto, and it's an internship in place where we involve students, typically PhD students, in activities related with intellectual property and technology transfer so that they understand these concepts. And there are many others. So we have a catalog of best practices or approaches that have been developed by the different partners. And what we are currently looking for is a way to make this widespread across our universities and also across other universities that want to adopt these practices. So to make this an institutional change. Because as I said in the beginning, it's not just a question of having courses, of exposing the students to this mindset, but it's really a question of changing the culture of the university. If our university, it's not innovative, if it doesn't promote entrepreneurship, we cannot expect our students to be innovative and entrepreneurs. So we have to start from within the university. And to do that, we are currently working on this manifesto for innovation and entrepreneurship in higher education. It's a baseline, a set of, we can call it wishful thinking, but it tries to design a way to promote this culture inside the universities. I don't know how much time I have. Do I still have? Okay, good. Because I have a few success stories that I would like to share. So, and these are coming mostly from the University of Porto. During this different experimentation that we did, we got some things right, and we call this the success stories. So the first one is something quite recent. This was disclosed yesterday. So yesterday we made the announcement of this. Currently we have a partnership with Conception X. So Conception X is an association from the UK that they have been working with several UK universities, with Imperial College, with City College London, Manchester University, and a few others from already a few years now, developing what they call the venture scientist. So they work only with PhD students, and they involve PhD students in an acceleration program where they try to support them on how to build an entrepreneurial project out of their research. So this is really based on deep tech, because in a PhD, we are talking about something that requires a lot of innovation research. Most of the times it requires specific equipment and specific laboratories, and it involves a lot of risk. So this fits into the concept of deep tech. And they've been promoting this for a couple of years now, and we've managed to be accepted in this program. Currently we have 6 teams of students, of PhD students from the Faculty of Engineering engaged in the program, and we are really excited, and well, hopefully by the end of the year they will be pitching their ideas and getting some funding from BCs. The other 2 success stories, also coming from the University of Porto, are more at the master level. So we have this linking great partners. This is a course. It's a mandatory course that we have in several of our master programs. This year it involved over 300 students from 5 different master courses. Of course, with informatics engineering, that's why I'm there, but also involving students from services engineering, multimedia, and economics and strategy, and also from design. So different courses coming from 3 different faculties of our university, from the Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Economics, and the Faculty of Fine Arts, and involving a team of 12 or 13 faculty members, also from the different knowledge areas. And what we try to do there is to create an environment, a learning environment, where students are challenged to work together to address problems, real problems, complex problems, and to come up with ideas and build a minimum viable product that demonstrates that idea. So we do this together with local partners, companies, local associations, with the municipality. This year we had 28 products that were presented a couple of weeks ago, and several interesting results, and already some of them are planning to keep working on the product and trying to push that product into the market. And that fits into the next success story that I have there, which is this academic spin-off from lab to the market. The idea is to support these master students that want to push forward their ideas in how to turn this product that they developed inside a curricular activity, an academic activity, how to turn this into something that can be brought into the market. So this is something that we started last year with a couple of students, and we are pushing forward this year. There are several others that I could present here as success stories, but the main message that I would like to leave here is that, and I agree with Dr. Mette, that this is not something that you can do in one shot. It's something that you have to keep on doing, and you have to start prior to the university. But inside the university, we have to create this environment where students and our faculty and our non-academic staff are exposed to this. And this is what we are trying to design as this learner's journey, where we have these different paths coming from the different areas, from the student, from the faculty member, from the researchers. They have a learning journey, and they intersect in some places. And we are trying to identify which are these places, which is the contribution that each one is bringing in, and how we can make this something that really changes the culture inside the universities. We already have some ideas. We've been working on this for a couple of years already, but we would like to discuss this, to make this available to others. We are currently setting up what we call a knowledge sharing catalog, where these journeys will be there, and also the best practices that were identified and experimented by the different partners. And all contributions, feedback from all of you is more than welcome. And just to wrap up, let me show you a little bit of what we achieved in the last couple of years. We started in June 2021. This part of the journey will end in July 2023. And we have more than 50 new partnerships established, so with companies and organizations in our local ecosystems. We are currently working with them on new topics. We managed to involve over 5,000 students, staff, and non-academic staff in the activities and train them in this area. And we have 47 startups and scale-ups that were supported by the program. A few of them were created as part of this program. And on a more personal note, this week I had the pleasure to be there as one of the founders of one new startup that was the result of this activity. So something promoted by a couple of students of mine together with some colleagues from the Faculty of Medicine. So we set up a new entrepreneurial project this week. And now, my final challenge and call to action. We are organizing a final conference in July in Porto, so on the 15th and 16th of July. We call this Cultivating Tomorrow's Innovators. And we would be happy to welcome you in Porto and to share with you and to get your ideas as well on this journey of deep tech and entrepreneurship. Thank you very much.
Next on the program is Professor Bich-Liên Doan. Hope I mentioned it right. Awesome. Okay, since a lot of time is already spent, I would just mention that she is an IT specialist who specializes in artificial intelligence, and her current research is related to machine learning models. She is interested in new models from NLP, deep learning, semiotics, and quantum mechanics that can help in representing information. She has been active in the European Alliance for a long time now, from 2008 onwards. And please, Professor, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I don't know if I'm more stressed because my daughter is taking the French baccalaureate this morning, or if I have to talk after the 2 Nobel Prizes speeches and the 2 perfect presentations. And I'm trying today to discuss with the previous speakers on how to implement concrete actions related to what you said. And I hope that this presentation will help to the discussion. So the aim of my presentation is to share practices in entrepreneurship by giving some feedback from the co-construction of a workshop in entrepreneurship that was held in Paris-Saclay in 2022 with all the partners of UGLO. Yes, it's on purpose. Yes. Yes, so it was co-constructed with all the partners for the first UGLO.0, LMU, University of Zega, University of Porto, and of course, University of Lund too. So I will take part with the first motivation and the genesis of the project based on interculturality, as we said before, inclusion and sustainable development goal. Second part of my speech will concern the program and the pedagogy with the design thinking underlying this workshop and impact business model canvas. And after that, we could discuss about the feedback from the workshop UGLO. So the aim of this workshop was to provide the students some elements, some methodology and tools in order to develop their capacity for innovation and soft skills around an inclusive, intercultural and interdisciplinary UGLO workshop based on the input, which was the research team that were provided by the researchers from all the alliances. Just to be aware of the audience, how many students do we have in this session? Can you raise your hand, please? Okay, so you could tell me if this modeling is interested for you after that. So each research theme was proposed by researchers and has to reach one of the sustainable development goals. And we have to filter this research theme to propose a text that fits with innovation and that could be able to put into market as a real use case. This is one example of the project that was chosen by a team built with all the people from the different countries of the Alliance. And this example concerned fighting plastic pollution. So this is the text associated to this project that was provided by the researcher. Plastic waste is constantly becoming a major issue, especially in emerging nations such as Indonesia. In the team, we have students from all parts of Europe, but one of them was originally from Indonesia. So it was very important for him to cope with and to discuss with this project. According to figures, Indonesia is one of the highest producers of plastic waste in the world, with more than with about 8 million tons of plastic garbage yearly, of which around 5 million tons are improperly managed instead of the European Union, of which more than 70% of their plastic waste is manageable. However, the identified challenge in Indonesia is there is no law which includes reward and punishment, which would require people to use environmentally friendly paper-based products to reduce plastic waste. So the project aims to develop either an infrastructure, either on social, technical, organizational, or even legal side to reduce plastic waste in Indonesia by 50% by 2025, or to recycle plastic into useful product. It could be urban furniture, clothes, or anything else. So the group of students, the team of students has to think of these needs, of the customer needs, and to promote and to create innovative value face to the marketplace. So this research topic was adapted from one researcher from University of Szeged, Mohamed Tariq Bari. And to mention the work that was done in inside the Work Package 4, we align in the referential of competency, this competencies framework, different competencies that will be aimed to be done during this workshop. So it concerns particularly creativity, communication and collaboration, intercultural skills, and knowledge into actions. That was the focus of the group, of the pedagogical group, to teach to the students. During 1 week, they were discussing on this research project, and there were 30 students from master level to PhD level, from every part of the Alliance. And if I can compare with my previous speaker said about the journey, I think that we just we can mention this as the organization of this workshop, because each day we had a focus on theoretical inputs that was put into practical workshop with experts, mentoring them, and we have some discussion with experts. For example, during a roundtable on how to implement BMC on each country. It was conferences on legal parts, or it was conferences on, for example, how to implement impact business model Canva, and testimonies from real startups and entrepreneurship. So the students were inside an ecosystem, and they could visit the part of ecosystem in UPSaclay with the discussion where they have, the exchange they have with the experts, the local experts, and they progress in their reflection and in the motivation of the project thanks to these different inputs. So we have roundtables, we have different conferences and talks. And we have the visits of, for example, Incubator, 21st at Central Spelec, and Incubalians at UPSaclay. We have a conference in Meetup in Law, and the workshop mentored by experts. So if I want to go in the heart of the matter, we design the workshop with the main design thinking methodology, from empathize, defining the needs, ideation, prototyping, and test. So they took this process, and I want to focus on two parts in order to have the feedback and to talk about the feedback from the students. So a large part of the workshop was dedicated to identifying the problem and put the problem into the market. So they have to question the public, they have to phone to the people in order to feel the problem and the solutions, and imagine the solutions. And we use the persona and empathy map here. And what was very interesting is the exchange they have between different culture, different way of thinking, different values that were not the same. That is important to say, that they have not the same values, that have not the same behavior for the problem. And this is the enrichment of what I think we should have to co-construct, in fact. So the personality of each of the people, because they came from different countries, they came from different domains. There were architecture, computer scientists, biologists. They were from different domains, but at the final, because they had the same goal, they managed to complement themselves and to propose innovative solutions. That's the point I want to underline, and I want to discuss with my colleagues for the next edition of this. So they work the persona map in order to understand the needs of the customers with the same cartography. How do they think the customer feel? How are really their needs? And not only what is explicit, but what is implicit by exchanging with the potential customers. So what, just to make the link with the previous presentations, during the phase of ideation, they have to co-construct a solution targeted into eco-responsible solutions, incorporating the Sustainable Development Goal by making the minimal viable product, something that we know all, but it was interesting to watch and to discuss with them how they build this together, and using the impact business model canvas, that was an input for example, for LMU. So this was the program and the pedagogy we used during this week. It was very interesting to observe how they transformed themselves, how they were motivated to talk to each other, to set up a real dialogue in order to create innovative solutions, and how they can take risks. The last part of the workshop was to have a pitch, so they have a course in communication, storytelling, and so on. And the last week, the last day of the week, it was the weather was very bad. It was snowing, and the prefecture of UPSaclay, of the region, said no, there is no buses. So I was completely worried about how they can pitch together, and I phoned my colleagues to say, no, you can stay at home. We will do the pitch online, but. By discussing with one student, she said to me, oh no, I came from Hungary, I take a lot of time to take, I want to go, we will take the Uber and we will be in person. I say, Okay, you take your responsibility, you don't, I take a risk, because if there is an accident or something, I will be very worried about that, but all the students came by their own means, and we had this speech in person. So my last part of the last part of my talk is the assessments of this workshop by the students. So we have 100% of the students who recommend the workshop to their colleagues. The pedagogical contents widely fit with the acquisition of competencies we presented them at the first of the workshop, and the majority assesses that the training will help in their professional futures. So in terms of impact and in terms of synthesis from the workshop, from the student side, this is an experience of internationalization, either at home for the students from UPSaclay or in the partners country for the other UGLO students. It's an experience of interculturality and interdisciplinarity because of the complexity of the research themes that were proposed by the researchers and the diversity of the domains that they get in their own background. This workshop was the opportunity to highlight the complementarity of their background. And I already presented the competencies in terms of managing risk, structuring their thinking, be out of box thinking, and so on. And it was an opportunity for them to create to have a network and to build a network not only between them but with the local experts. For the University of UPSaclay, it was an opportunity to internationalize the training activity, to talk with the colleagues from the other partners university, to exchange, and I can say that it was more difficult to exchange with the local educators than to exchange with the UGLO partners. So it was a very interesting experience. Yes, it can promote new collaboration between universities, companies, and institutions. Thank you. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much for these fantastic presentations. And now I would like to ask the three presenters to join us at the table, because we have about 15 minutes for questions. So at the same time, I would be happy to ask our audience, should you have any questions, this is the right time to ask. So please, three presenters of ours, Bich-Liên, Mette, Gilles, please take a seat. And of course, Amma. So, ladies and gentlemen, any questions you have to our presenters?
I have a question. Maybe it can start the conversation. Thank you very much for your presentations. So, since all three of you are in academia, I think it would be of interest to know the major challenges that you have faced in terms of bringing other experts on board. I mean, all of you are experts, but you also collaborate with experts in the industry. And how do what are some of the challenges that you've experienced with creating these synergies? Please, who will start?
To then, when taking an example from the bachelor students, to kind of, actually for all students at all levels, these expectations from the industry, what they can get out of this project or the collaboration with the students. understanding that they are not getting consultants in to solve a problem. This is actually, we expect an academic work from the students from our perspective. So, and also then often they come and, or sometimes we experience that they come and provide a pitch of an idea or a problem and then they're gone again. But actually that they have to be there and be available for the students during the whole period and also be there in the end when the students give their presentations, because it's very important for their motivation that they also have a feeling that what they have done makes a difference and have a meaning for the company. So really to have a good dialogue with the expert or the industry in advance, to have a good cooperation, because when there are misunderstandings and there are, let's say, it's hard to solve the afterwards.
Thank you. Can I take? I think that it was very easy to include the stakeholders and entrepreneur into the training, because they are all linked by the passion of innovation, passion of transmitting and teaching to the students. And to answer your question, Mette, I think that's, for example, in United States, they can set up their company at the age of 14, for example. But I have example where they cooperate with a senior. They could start very early. So I think that the age can be at the bachelor. It's a question of mindset, as we said. And I think that this mindset could be educated. We could bring them the means to develop this mindset and give example, very simple example, to put them on the stage and to provide them the tools earlier. In fact, so I think that the bachelor could be the starting point. It's what we experience at the University of UPSaclay for some of the training to put them on the stage because they want to, if they are motivated to, in fact. So that's what I want to share.
Thank you. So starting with this, this last part of answering Dr. Mette's question, and I raised half-end when you asked who is doing this at the undergrad level, because we don't have specific courses for our students on this, but we try to include some of this in the courses. So for example, in informatics engineering and during their bachelor, they have some courses where they are exposed to external companies. They need to work together with external companies, developing some specific application for them or working together with them. So it's already one way to start creating this mindset, but we don't have specific courses on entrepreneurship. Going back to the original question of what are the challenges, I think this expectation management is one of the challenges indeed, so we need to make sure that the companies, when they engage with the university, they understand what they are up for. But my experience is that it's not that difficult to engage them. Maybe because coming from a technology-based area, which companies are very keen to recruit as soon as possible, they see this as an opportunity to understand what the talent is and try to already to recruit our students. So we get a lot of companies that want to cooperate with us in our academic activities. For me, the main challenge is really to convince some of the colleagues that this is important for the learning process of the students. They would prefer to keep their courses closed. It's easy to manage when you are lecturing the typical way. If you are bringing in people from the outside companies, then you are introducing some risks and some entropy into the system. So the resistance I see is from inside and not really from the outside. And if I can just add another idea there, we've been trying to engage with companies for several years. So we have this process of inviting companies to the different courses. From the beginning, we understood that this was a kind of two-way street. The people from the companies would come and would be experts. They would help us to teach our students, but at the same time, when we send our students to the companies, it's an opportunity to teach the companies some new things or to help them to improve. So it's an opportunity for our students to learn, for us to learn as well, because we learn from the companies as well. But it's also an opportunity for us to expose the companies to new concepts, to new ways of doing things, and we can help them also to improve. So it's a win-win for both sides.
Thank you very much. Now that we have had our first question, which is supposed to be the hardest, I'm looking for some more questions from the audience. Yes, please.
Hello, Anton Silverman, Lund University. You talked about culture eats strategy for breakfast. My question to you is, do you see any specific actions build a culture at a university or maybe within an alliance or as an individual teacher? What sort of actions do you think are specifically important? Thank you.
So indeed, I think, and that's my opinion, which I think is shared by many people, is that in order to create this mindset in our students, we have to create this culture inside the university. And the hardest part is really to change the mindset of the people that are there, of the walls, right? We have this beautiful walls in our universities, this legacy of years and years, and this is not easy to change. And it's not something that you can do by something coming from the rector and saying that, well, you have to do this. It helps, it supports, but it's not a way to do it. You have also to do it bottom up. And one of the things that we have been doing is that for the courses that we teach and where we involve external companies, where we want our students to develop these concepts, prior to the course, we have a kind of crash course with the faculty members that will be involved. So we have specific courses also for the faculty members, to try to convince them, to train them in this. And slowly, I think that things start to disseminate. But I don't have any specific silver bullet to solve this. I don't know if the other colleagues.
I would just like to add that it's also about what do we consider important, what is our purpose at the university. And research and education has been obvious, but now also this innovation aspect has been included. But I think also it's from the professors, we have now in research, we should also argue the relevance for innovation, what we do. But also I think you as the students have a role in building this culture. You can emphasize or ask for, you can demand that also this innovation aspect should be included, and in this way also push this change from your side. So I would just encourage you, if you're interested, to raise your voice regarding this and say you want this type of courses. And when they are available, also through this UGLO Alliance, sign on to them. And in this way get the experience from. And I think also for me, I have to say personally, to be a part of UGLO and listening to how both the similarities in how we regard innovation and entrepreneurship training, the similarities, but also the differences. It's very interesting. So then for you to go to such classes at other universities and get this cultural aspect of it, also for, I guess you will work in international environments also later on. To have this knowledge and get this knowledge at an early stage is very valuable. Thank you.
At Paris-Saclay, including Central Spelec, we have different level of acculturation to the entrepreneurship. For example, for the first year of engineer students, we have the startup week, where during 1 week they are sensitive to the input of entrepreneurship, to know what is it. And we think that for those who will be interested in entrepreneurship and will have this in mind for the second or third year, for example, level master, they could follow more focus and deep tech courses of entrepreneurship with more deeper training. And I think that it could be the same thing, the same question for the teacher, for a researcher, because researcher could have in certain period of their career the motivation to create a startup. So we set up some guide, some information where we can pick up or advertise the researchers so that they're aware of what they can do if they have a pattern and how they can transfer the technology into markets.
Okay, thank you very much for your answers, your fantastic words. Unfortunately, time's up, so this session has to be ended. So please thank you again these fantastic presentations to Bich-Liên, Mette, and Jo, and thank you for joining us for this discussion. Please, a round of applause to our presenters. And as I know, we have a short break, and that